Love is in the air, and I'm here today to talk about my makeup products in a loving way. Today is my 19th wedding anniversary, so I don't know what we're going to end up doing. There's snow everywhere, so we will see. Let me know in the comments below if you're in a committed relationship. How long have you been with your significant other? And I let my daughter draw on my face. She's really started to become into body art, and I knew for this Valentine's Day kind of look and this Valentine's Day loving kind of video, I needed to incorporate some extra spark. And I even did a makeup look with my Norvina palette that you might find a little bit inspirational on my eyes, using the purple and pink colors, Love, Soul, Wild Child, and Celestial. I thought that was a really sweet take on a Valentine's Day makeup look. So if you have this palette, make sure that you pull it out, because I bet you can come up with something really good if you're going somewhere special or if you're just having a night in. Today I am doing a tag video that I saw Andie do, and I thought this was so much fun. I thought it was very appropriate for Valentine's Day, and I thought it'd be really cool to put it up on Valentine's Day, especially since it's my anniversary. And it's all about Valentine's Day love and romance in a makeup themed way. Andie had previously seen another creator do this tag, so the video that Andie put up has the 10 questions, and we were all encouraged to be able to do this video on our own. So I have Andie's video right here and the questions already, and I'll do the same thing that Andie did. I'll leave all the questions down below in case you just think it would be fun to do this or save it for a rainy day. So question number 1 is the one makeup product you're in a committed relationship with. And for me, I knew instantly, as I was watching Andie's video, I knew instantly almost everything that I would choose for each question. And I knew instantly that I was gonna have to pick a tubing mascara. This is the one that I'm using right now. It's the Tarte Tartelette XL tubing mascara, but I also really like the e.l.f. Lash Extender tubing mascara. When this one goes out, I will definitely be buying the e.l.f. one just to save a little bit of money. But as someone who has sort of like oily under eyes, I don't know, watery eyes, any kind of regular mascara just droops and smudges and flakes, and tubing mascaras have really been the thing that helps keep all of my mascara staying put. So I really don't want to go back to regular mascara. I'm committed to this one. Number 2, the one you're still in the honeymoon phase with, and as we all know, the honeymoon phase is a lot of fun. You know, it's new, things are fresh, and you haven't gotten to know it a whole lot, but you know it's just a whole lot of fun when you use it. That's the kind of honeymoon phase. And when I was thinking about that, I really thought about my 3 Ioni liquid blushes. These are fairly new to me, and I haven't used them a ton, but when I do, I love them so much. I'm still scratching the surface on all the different ways that I can pair these 3 colors together, how I can maybe tone this one down to where it's a little more approachable for someone with light skin like me, how I can deepen this one up, and how I can just make this one shine. These liquid blushes from Ioni at the Dollar Tree are really amazing, and I am just loving them so much. They are a ton of fun. Number 3, the one you friend zoned. And when I thought about this, I thought about if someone has been friend zoned, it's someone that you want in your life. It's just not someone that you're gonna have like a committed relationship with, like this one. If you have the friend, it's somebody that you like and that you can appreciate. You just don't have those like romantic feelings, those love feelings. So for that one, I went with my ColourPop The Child palette, While this is never going to be a go-to every single day palette for me, I'm really glad that I have it in my life. I know that I can count on this to give me the splash of color and be there for me. I love the fact that it has a mirror when most ColourPop palettes like this don't have a mirror, so it has some extra special qualities. These are really fun mattes to use, and the shimmers and Super Shock Shadow are really a lot of fun. Add variety to my makeup collection. So I don't want to let it go, but it's just never going to be like the one for me. My daughter's phone, I have the questions on her phone because I film on my phone and it keeps going to sleep. Okay, so the one that got away, I'm going to count that as my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. The one that got away, I count that as that because I wasn't able to use it all the way up before I started to notice some dark spots on the wand, and it just made me a little nervous. I had only had it for about a year when I started to notice those things. And I love that concealer so much. So I count that as the one that got away because I wasn't able to use it all up like I really wanted to. I used it almost all the way up. I was getting some really good windowing, and it was starting to, like, when I would take the wand out, there wasn't quite as much product on it, but I would have taken the stopper out of that thing and really used all of it up. I just wasn't able to with that wand being a little iffy. So that's the one that got away. And when I run out of this current concealer that I'm working on, I would definitely consider buying that one again. All right, the one that you're currently crushing on. So I have one of these ColourPop So Juicy sticks over at my desk. I got these in a trio set. They have like the Frosty the Snowman theme on them. And you know, they were on sale at Christmas time, and I thought, oh, I'd like to try those. I love the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. And I love that thing. The one that's over at my desk is so easy to put on. I don't have to have a mirror to put that thing on. And I like the set because I have that one over there is kind of a red color. This one, even though it looks red, is a little bit light toned. And then this one is very, very light toned. They are hydrating. They have a little bit of like maybe a little pepperminty situation to them. I think that they layer really nicely with like a lip liner, and they add just the right amount of gloss and glow to your lips. Very comfortable formula, and all in all, I am loving them so much. Glad that I got to try those out. A great alternative to those Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips because they're so much more affordable. Number 6 is the one that broke your heart, and we all know that. The one that we have such expectation for, that we have so much hope for, and then when it doesn't work out, you're just crushed, you know, because you had all these dreams and these plans, and you thought everything was going to be wonderful. And for me, that makeup product was totally fulfilled with this Laura Geller Baked, Balance, and Brighten in the shade Fair. And this is a powder foundation that I, first of all, pined over for a long time. Long time. I finally decided to place my first Laura Geller order towards the end of 2024, and that was a disaster. It was Black Friday. They were having sales. They debited my account. They didn't ship the product for 3 weeks. And then I got it within like 2 or 3 days. It was a whole mess, and I would never order from Laura Geller like that, the website ever again. But then, you know, to get this, and I had pined over this and really wanted to try it for so long, and I really don't like it. I also really don't like the eyeshadow palette that I got from them, but I haven't explored all the different ways that I can use that, so I'm not including that in today's video. This, first of all, is the shade Fair, and it's very dark for me, so I'm thinking in the summertime it will be better. Second of all, it really doesn't offer very much coverage at all. Like, I don't like to use this as a foundation. by itself, not at all. It does okay as like a powder topper. The third thing that I really don't like about it, that just broke my heart and, you know, ruined our relationship, is the fact that because it's dark, when I put it on, it goes on my skin in splotches. Like, even though I like swirl my brush in here, it doesn't swirl all these colors together. And therefore, when I put it on my skin, it's got gray and light colors, and it's just weird. And so this one really broke my heart. I'm trying to use it on occasion with a foundation that you're going to see here in a minute, so I'm not going to spoil it. That's too light, and I find that it pairs nicely with this one-ish, so I don't know. Ugh. It's not the best. Okay, the one you grew apart from. And if I'm really honest with myself, I don't think this was ever anything that I was going to be in love with. And it is my Hourglass Ambient palette from a few years ago. I noticed that in some of my pictures that I put on Instagram recently, that my under eyes were yellow. And I thought that it might be my concealer that was a little yellow, and then I remembered these two powders, especially this one, have always done that to me. For some reason, these two setting powders oxidize on my skin and make me look yellow. So you know, this would be something that I would be, even though it was expensive and it's beautiful, it would be something that I wouldn't like be offended with if I decluttered it. The highlighter is very sparkly and very shiny. You have to be very, very careful with it. The two blushes are very, very pigmented and also very similar in color. So as I've kind of grown up with this, and I've had this for several years, I'm starting to see that it's just not a realistic palette for me to use. I do appreciate the bronzer. The bronzer, though, is definitely something that doesn't look like much at first, and you put a layer on, and then you put a layer on, and then if you go to that third layer, that it's there and it's like too much all at one time. And so this is definitely one that I grew apart from as I'm really starting to get to know this palette even more. I don't like it as much as I like my Physicians Formula Butter Dream Team palette. That face palette suits me a lot better and is easier to work with than that one. Number 8, the one you'd have a fling with but never actually date. So I took this kind of also as one that you like flirt with, and you know, like when you're trying to like find somebody that you know that you like or whatever, and it looks good from afar but not something you want to like have in your life all the time. And so I chose my Ione Fat Lip Chubby Stick in the shade Kimono Cherry. I love the fact that I have this, and it's kind of like that friend zone situation is how I kind of look at this too. I love the fact that I have this. It is beautiful, but I don't want to wear this every day. I don't want this in my life every day. It has its place and it has its purpose in my makeup collection, and I don't want to declutter it. But I also know, kind of like that green ColourPop palette, it's not something that I'm going to reach for every day, but that's okay because I'm glad that I have it. I'm gonna, you know, flirt with it every once in a while and use it, but not as much as I'm going to these guys. All right, the one you're in a love-hate relationship with. And when I took a look at my makeup collection, I knew that this was probably going to be it. And it's this the Alter Ego Mist Haven palette. I'm in a love-hate relationship with this because I love the color story, And I don't like the color story, and I love the formula, and I don't really like the formula. It is a conundrum with me in this palette, and part of me wonders if I had the Huda version of this palette, which is pretty grunge, would I like it better? I'm just not sure that this alter ego formula is up to par with the Huda formula, which I love. That is my top two. That and Natasha and ABH are like my, and Too Faced. Those are my four. Those are my jam. And so part of me just wonders, if I ever got pretty grunge, would I just be over the moon with it? When I use this palette and this color story, I don't like my makeup, but then when I do the rest of my face, then I love my makeup. So it's kind of that type of vibe where I'm just not really sure, you know, like, I'm not sure. Is it this? Is it me? I don't know. I don't know. Part of me wants to get pretty grunge just to see if I can compare them, but to spend $70 just to see? No. And the last one is one that I really could have put in a wide variety of these prompts, and it is the one you'd give the second chance to. And it is one that I have given a second chance, and it is the Pretty Fresh foundation. I bought the shade 300 Light Neutral, which is very, very light. It is way too light for me. So that's when I've started to pair it with different things and use it in different ways to give it a second chance just this year, you know, wanting to really use this up instead of decluttering it, instead of throwing it away. Can I really figure out a way to make it work, you know? If you're giving something or a person a second chance, you want to try a wide variety of things in order to make it work. So, you know, I put these two things together to give both of them a second chance, and that worked out okay. I pair this foundation with my e.l.f. Soft Glam foundation, which is a little dark for me, and that works out nicely. And I've even started underpainting with a cream bronzer with this, and that also adds a little bit of warmth to it and a little bit of depth to it to make it work. So I'm glad that I gave this a second chance because I'm actually getting some good use out of it, and getting good use out of this is going to extend my period of time when I need to buy a foundation, which I really shouldn't need to this year because I have 4 of them, 4 liquid ones and a couple of powders. So I really am good, but I am on a mission this year to really like appreciate the makeup that I have and find ways to use things in different ways, to be creative with my makeup and my eyeshadow looks and my placement and my techniques and things like that, just to make makeup more fun, to encourage me to continue to not buy if I don't need it. Which, you know, like I said, with that Pretty Grunge palette, don't need that. I have my eye on a couple of other palettes that I'm hoping will come out this year. That's not one of them. So, I hope that you really enjoyed my tour of feelings in makeup form. I hope that you found a little bit of inspiration in, you know, how I've made certain things work and things I've given a second chance to. Hopefully that will be able to allow you to look at your makeup collection and give a second chance, take a different look at something that you're not super crazy about. I'll see you in another video. Bye.